We're going live, dude. Dallas Cowboys news from Cowboys Blog. All right. We're going to hit up this subject here. We're going to get into it. We're talking Lyle Collins. It's really the news of the day. You know what I mean? If you want to get into it, this is really the news of the day. You know what I mean? It's Lyle Collins. This injury, the neck stinger. All right. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that discussion here. Lyle Collins suffers a neck stinger in the practice. This is serious. This is totally impromptu. All right. But I think this is something that's been festering on my mind since we found out the news. All right. That Lyle Collins suffered a stinger. All right. We find out that it's a neck stinger. Now, what has me a little bit concerned right now about this is that, you know, I think it was like last week or the week before, he had another one of these. You know what I mean? He had another, on that one they were calling it a shoulder neck type of issue. Now they're calling it a neck stinger. Okay, so this injury seems to be getting elevated each time he comes out of practice. All right, so is there any concern from this? Absolutely. And because, you know, like all of us, all of you out there, we've seen, you know, what the body of work that these backups have done, you know, whether it's last season or even what we've seen, you know, this preseason. Ty Nsekhe came in here during, when Lyle went out, Ty Nsekhe went in there for the right tackle. So it looks like the Cowboys feel a little bit more comfortable having Terrence Steele out here at the left tackle. I think he's a little bit more mobile. He's younger. So I think that's where they're going to want to put him for this season, right? Ty Nsekhe looks like he's your right tackle swing guy. So, you know, it's one of those things where Ty Nsekhe, if he in fact makes the team, you know what I mean? So he could be that guy. What I don't like about him, 36 years old, he looks every bit of it out there. He's just a little bit slow out the gate, you know, off the snap. So that's a concern there. Now, even Terrence Steele, you know, let's say that Ty Nsekhe doesn't even make the roster. It's Terrence Steele. Terrence Steele is probably going to be the swing guy here. These coaches love him, you know, for whatever reason. So the thing that does concern me here is, you know, you talk about we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to be prolific, we're going to put all this pressure on Tampa Bay and this and that. And in theory, right, in theory, we should be able to do that. Albeit Tampa Bay does have a really good defense. We have a really good offense. We have 3 Ferraris at the wide receiver position. We have one in the backfield and this sort of thing. Now, what can be problematic is if you don't have the right personnel in front of you protecting your $160, $70 million, you know, Dak Prescott. You know, you're going to have issues executing your game plan. You know what I mean? You just will. You're going to have some blitzes coming off the slow. The right side here is going to interfere with getting the ball where you want to get it. And, you know, it just makes it a little bit more difficult. You know what I mean? And not to say that they won't be able to, but you want to have these Ferraris in full gear. You don't want them stuck in first gear. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I tweeted earlier. You know, you can have all the toys, bells and whistles, but if you don't have the protection and you're running for your life, you know, it becomes a problem. So let's monitor this issue here with Lyle Collins. This is the second time he's come out here with a neck issue. All right. Now, Cowboys, you know, the track record is there with them, you know, with limited details as far as the severity of the injury. We don't know what the grade of the neck strain stinger is. Is it grade 1, 2, or 3? You know, so but typically when you have back-to-back stinger type of issues, this is something that kind of is a little bit of a red flag as far as something that can linger through the season and may even limit your time to even play a game. So definitely don't want that to happen here week 1. I want to see Lyle Collins, to his credit, I think he's had a fantastic offseason. He looks in shape. He's played in a lot of preseason games. You know, we weren't going to see him in this last preseason game anyway. You know what I mean? I don't think any of our blue chippers are going to start in this final preseason game, which is fine. But you know, you definitely like what you've seen from Lyle Collins up to now. You know what I mean? He looks in shape. He looks like the mauler that he was, you know, about 2 seasons ago. In shape, you know, he's able to pull. He's got some athleticism and playing with power. So I like what he's done. Now these injuries of the neck, they do concern me. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? And to think that it's not gonna be an issue would be a disservice. You know what I mean? So let's just keep that in mind, guys. The contingency plan here, you know, God forbid Lyle Collins, you know, flares up, or, you know, this becomes a little bit more of a major issue. The Cowboys probably will need to go out and do something here. You know, they did flip some money from restructuring Zeke's contract. You know, some people were thinking maybe a defensive tackle, defensive end, maybe a better backup quarterback. Well, the good thing is, if you want to roll that money into the future for next year to help you re-sign some of your own free agents like a Gregory, Schultz, maybe even Gallup if you can swing that. But it does give you some money if you need a contingency plan to bring in somebody else in here. You know what I mean? We don't know what we have in Josh Ball. He's another guy that's been injured, you know, but he obviously showed some promise in OTAs and this sorts of thing. But you know, these are without pads. We really don't know what he looks like in the pro level. You know what I mean? It's all estimation, guesstimation, and this sort of thing. So we'll see how it goes, guys. Let me know your level of concern for Lyle Collins in the comments. Are you very concerned about Lyle Collins' back-to-back neck issues, stingers, and this sorts of thing? Are you concerned that he may not be ready for week 1? Or are you chalking it up to, oh, he'll be okay? You know what I mean? Let me know your level of concern. You know, 1 being low, 5 being, I'm not digging this. I'm very concerned. For me right now, my level of concern for Lyle Collins on a scale of 1 to 5 is going to be, I'm going to say it's a 3 right now. I'm going to monitor this. You know, I'm going to monitor this. Like, is he going to be able to practice? You know, we got 2 more weeks to the regular season. Is he going to be able to practice? If he does practice, does it flare up again? Okay, so let's see. Got to pay very close attention to this issue here. I don't think it's being talked about enough. Keep an eye on it, guys. But special shout out to all my members, everybody that watching this live and on the replay. Appreciate all of you guys out here in the chat box. Appreciate you. Can't do this without you. I'll catch you for another video, guys. Peace out, everybody.